agenda?
Barnes & Noble box? What could possibly be in there?
Oh, we got
Barnes & Noble? Is that even
turning into a live shopping? I think
live shopping?
English, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could start one for NFTs.
That would be hot. It's like, load up the wallet. You know, we got to be. Well, we're buying. That'd be the opposite. Or are we selling?
Well, we would be hawking NFTs on behalf of whoever's producing them.
So they would show up and be like, "All right, we're going to sell this now." Like,
Yeah.
live, like drop.
Yeah,
Live
yeah,
drop.
exactly.
Oh snap!
Yeah, and it'd be like, yeah, we've got a great Moose NFT from a main artist.
Yeah. Tomorrow at 9:30 New York a.m. is our China CoinDesk call, and we're going through NFT topics that CoinDesk might want to talk about. OpenSea, operators, the royalties. OpenSea just like lost half their market share, and they're like 100% of the markets. That's a big deal. And we're talking with CoinDesk, and we're like, yeah, we're going to invite guests. We're going to set this up. And then last minute, they're like, let's change the topic. New topic. Trump's NFT is celebrity NFT is going to be the new trend. So
It's gonna get all the clicks.
that's the clicks, baby.
Yeah. On the road to KOLdom.
So for those of you who haven't figured this out yet, Dan is
All the way
Ellie's
from China.
from China, time lag, and this is not one of Ellie's special filters.
Right.
So-
Yeah, this is a real person.
Because you know she could do that.
Pretty soon we could probably do all the streams like this, but we don't actually have to be in the same
Yeah.
room.
What's one movie I saw this? British Americans Guns.
British Americans guns.
Action movie.
Revolutionary War?
No, recent.
Patriot?
No. Recent show 2 years ago. I'm gonna nest. He's a panther. He has to implant the ring to track the girl. They needed a hippie thing.
Lord of the
This is not the ring.
So it's a movie.
But there was also a U.S. version of this movie. Maybe like 5 or 6 guys and girls. They're like adventure fighting. But then this is like the British version.
All right, let's ask Chat GPT.
British Americans.
British and Americans,
right? Maybe like 4 years ago.
Maybe 4 years ago.
There's the guy identifies as a panther, maybe, or something. Spirit animal. There's spirits of animals.
A guy's spirit animal is
a panther. Yep.
Guy has to do something with a ring.
I'm gonna crack up if ChatGPT is like, I have no idea.
All right. Okay, ChatGPT's response. I'm sorry, but it is difficult to identify a specific movie based on the limited information you have provided. All right. If ChatGPT can't do it, I think there's something in this description that's lacking. Can you provide additional details or context about the film?
One of the events inside the movie is like a hippie festival. The American guy doesn't get the girl. The British guy does get the girl.
Is a hippie festival?
That's part of it. That's where the guy meets the girl.
The American guy gets the girl?
No.
Doesn't get the girl.
The American guy never gets the girl.
Okay.
Because the British guy has to,
The British guy gets the girl.
And implants the tracker.
And implants... I don't know if I want to know. It is possible the movie you're thinking of is Avengers Age of Ultron.
No, that's the US version, ChatGPT.
There's also a lasso. There's a lasso that is like magic lasers or something.
There's a magic lasso?
That's one of the weapons. One of the guys has like a lasso, slices people in half or something.
So now it's going with Wonder Woman because of the lasso.
The lasso. Oh my god.
So are you going to tell us?
No, I don't know what it is. That's the problem.
Oh.
All right, so I'm going to use this.
The Kingsman.
Kingsman.
Maybe.
I'm going to use the same prompt in Google search and see what happens. Elvis. That's the first result.
Oh, God. Come on.
Wait, Panther.
The panther is his spirit animal.
Panther is a film.
Okay. This is the guy. You didn't see this movie?
No, this is Kingsman?
Yeah.
That's what you were going for?
Yeah. So we were talking about Ellie, right? So I was saying that Kingsman has the Microsoft meeting where everybody's in the same room at the same time.
Oh.
Yeah, so what's the difference? I'm kind of addicted to ChatGPT right now.
Yeah, me too. When ChatGPT is down, you can just use OpenAI's, it's called the Playground, and it's basically the same model. It's just a different interface.
Is that like GPT-3?
Yeah.
Got it. I'm tracking.
There are also like a bunch of parameters that you can play with. It might actually be better. It's just the interface is not set up as a chatbot. It's set up as play with this AI.
Right.
Okay, cool. I'll check it out.
The cost is really low. I made it write like 7 3-page documents, and it cost 50 cents.
So what blockchain things should we be doing with ChatGPT?
That is a good question.
You can write code. I don't think you want to do that.
Oh, I tried that. It didn't have like the greatest results, but that's okay.
So I've used it to write a smart contract, a basic ERC20 token smart contract in LLL.
Yeah.
There were lots of security flaws in it. It's a starting point, and maybe it saved me, a half hour of Googling stuff about LLL because I just don't know that language. Like it's another language that compiles to Ethereum bytecode. Yeah. It's helpful for coding. You just have to audit what it gives you. It's also really helpful if you want to ask it if you have questions about Solidity, instead of spending 10 minutes just trying to find Will's answers to Stack Overflow questions, you can ask ChatGPT and it'll give you pretty good answers. Should this function be external or public? Why or why not? And that's generally pretty good. Are you going to try
Copilot? Copilot. I've been using Copilot since like alpha.
Yeah.
It is definitely
pretty good.
It needs to be in your repertoire. It's like, so you can just...
But you have to, don't you have to give it some comments? Oh, nice.
So we're going to make a token. We're going to make just soul bound ERC20.
Oh, is it that good? Do you have ChatGPT? We could also compare and contrast results. Man, that does not. That's bad news. Appropriate.
All right, so I also forgot. Yeah, I forgot that. So name symbol. Okay, that's symbol. Let's see.
Right.
Hold on. Total supply. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mapping.
Balances allowed.
Mm-hmm.
I would do a new line. Okay, constructor. Name symbol decimals. Total supply. Okay. Total supply. Balance of. Transfer. No, I don't know if I want that.
Right. I mean, soulbound, it's just the name. If you added a comment, yeah.
Version 2. It really makes you use tokens. Makes a token. This is a token contract where tokens can be minted but not transferred. Okay, let's think about that.
Whole thing. Yeah.
Name, symbol, decimal, total supply, balance, allowed. Constructor, total supply, balance, transfer,
return false. Nice.
And it uses the old school. Did it figure out we don't want to set allowance?
It still has all the functionality.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't allow transfers, but I mean, logically.
I mean, you didn't specify that you want to exclude those other functions, right?
This is a token contract where tokens can be minted but not transferred or approved. Okay, so it gave me constructor, transfer fails, approve fails, transfer from fails, but there's no minting because there doesn't have to be minting. So
right,
I'm gonna make a new comment.
Well,
because this could be this could be an abstract. Okay, so this is a practical implementation of soulbound. No, it's failed. Okay. So there's no mint function in there. Now, to be clear, somebody on GitHub has probably done this before. Copilot is not really tasked with being original here, just needs to connect.
But also, it has context from all of GitHub, right? So it has an abstract understanding of stuff that's like not even related directly to Solidity,
right?
That it leverages in understanding what you expect it to do. I think one of the things that makes it really powerful, the latent space is like this other dimension of understanding that we can't even really comprehend.
It's for Solidity, I mean, basically it just saved me from typing all this stuff, which is correct. Oh, this even used a revert, which is cool. I figured that out. And I would do a little bit more here, but I would totally use this as a starting point versus a blank.
Right.
No, but you just got to read everything. And also you got to add comments. It didn't have enough comments for me.
Yeah.
I would do more.
So there's the helping write smart contracts and relevant code. The other thing that I think about is art generation.
Okay.
Right? Like that's probably the second
I was waiting to open
major
this new
dimension.
tab. Say it. I'm going to open it up.
You can get it running on Apple Silicon.
Diffusion B, is that the one you have?
Diffusion B. No, I don't have. I just installed Stable Diffusion and I run it through the command line.
Okay. This is the same thing. This one's pretty good. So it does text to image, image to image, in painting, out painting, and it loads it, like a huge model when you open it. So that's a cool app. It's free. It's on GitHub. It's open source.
Why have it on your local hardware at all?
Well, I want to get GPT-3 the minute that they accidentally release that publicly. I'm going to download the shit out of that because that's going to be illegal.
Well, I mean, there's already Bloom, and I'm sure somebody's...
People are thinking about NFTs a lot. So Stable Diffusion,
right,
Midjourney, in their terms of service, every one of them says, at least mentions NFTs.
Really?
Or commercial exploitation. Or like, one of them, I think Midjourney is like, you can do NFTs of these, we get 10%. We have no idea how they're going to enforce that.
Right.
And
but if they want to.
Right. They're all thinking about that.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing about Stable Diffusion, you can go like see the function that adds the watermark.
Yeah.
And just delete it. And then no one will ever know.
Right. You can crop it too.
No, they have like this imperceptible watermark that's like, it's just built into the image.
Oh, that's Dolly has the
little color boxes at the bottom. So the second big application is probably like any NFT art going forward. If you have a collection, like why would you do all that by hand?
Right. I mean, I feel like a lot of people in NFT graphic space are like, let me go make 10,000 of something.
Right.
That's played out. Like we've been, they're taking people that are barely artists, let's be honest, and going straight to, let me go mass produce 10,000 things. And I've never made 100 things in my life.
Right.
There's something kind of cool that 330.ai, which is like the blockade games crew, are doing something where they're integrating AI in order to like catalyze creativity in games and also to assist the user generated aspects of blockchain games that could then lead to people having their own NFTs. They're really doing it more in like a gaming aspect, though. I thought it was really interesting the way they were seeing AI as a catalyst for world building and user creativity.
We're getting this context. I have the 330.ai website open.
This is really cool.
They had a Twitter space the other day, and then I've played the Neon District is Blockade Games, so I play their game. And they've been chatting about it, and they've been playing around with AI in their Discord, and then just sharing with how they were integrating it into their game space and their Discord, and then they started working together with Pixelmind and launched, I think it's called 330.ai.
Maybe these NFTs in the future, it's not an image, but it's actually
STX file.
Yeah, it makes the idea of let's make composable games a bit easier.
Yeah.
Right, because now like the Bored Apes, you have to figure out, well, what does each one look like in 3D space?
Right.
And then you have to do all this art and all this thinking that's already ready to go. I mean, maybe it's not that easy. We probably need to talk to somebody who works more directly with game engines.
Well, you have 3D models like in games. And in order to train, you've got to have big data, right? So
so Google even released one called Dream Fusion. It's text to 3D.
So are these photorealistic? Not really. These are more...
Yeah, maybe like the next generation of NFTs is going to be probably not going to be 2D 512 by 512 images. I wonder if there are other things that should be that the URI should point to.
Artwork wise, I feel like we've pretty much covered the gamut. We have squiggles, we have entropy plus computer program generates image. We have that thing plus music. We have 3D models.
And they're not good enough yet.
Yeah, they're not good enough. We have in-game assets. We have basically anything that you can show on a screen. 2D, 3D, 4D is there. We're waiting for Ellie to release her
5D
snap filters, right? And there's got to be a point
metaverse platform.
Metaverse, right? There's got to be a point where it's like, are you really buying the image or are you buying the experience in Facebook or in Fortnite?
Yeah.
Because what you're really buying is the experience in Fortnite.
Right. I guess the utopian vision is this particular type of ticket, you can use it in multiple theme parks.
Exactly. We're kind of getting there with Bored Ape. You can get on the yacht, you can go to the party. There's derivative NFT. Like that's pretty much the vision. The Bored Ape ecosystem is executing on some of this vision. Got to get it into games, and they will get into games.
That's the vision, you guys think, for NFTs?
The model of NFTs for the future is going to be a thing that you can use in multiple places in general. And what I'm talking about things that you can buy and sell NFTs. Personally, I'm involved in not even visual stuff. Like visual stuff, I'm so past that.
Yeah.
But for like stuff you would buy and sell, I think, yeah, the use case is things you can use in different places. What do you think?
Just assets. I mean, I know that sounds super lame, but I just think of it as the asset market of the digital world. So it completely covers all of the different realms of what anything that unique assets will be.
But what's an asset to you?
It's like if you walk into a market, right, there's the money that everybody uses, and then there's literally everything else in the market. So NFTs are everything else.
I'm with you, but still 5 years away.
Yeah, the market's like monkey pictures right now, granted. But yeah, I think the market's going to just keep growing and expanding.
We're also getting there for free. I mean, anything you put a serial numbers are NFTs, right? As serial numbers get cheaper to print.
Why are serial numbers not cheap to print? What does that mean?
I was talking to a major drug manufacturer, their serialization department, putting the serial numbers on the drugs and counting the drugs, 80 people.
What's the volume and scope of the business?
This is like top 3 or 4 drug manufacturers.
Well, they've got a lot of different SKUs to think about.
The concern is really the journey of these things from when they're made to when they're consumed is crazy. Like they make it in India. The active ingredients come from China. Somebody's stirring up a vat in their basement, and then they take it to India, and then that's the API that they put into the thing. Then they package it in Germany, but they want to get it to the US, but they have to get through Latin America for tax reasons. Then it comes to the US, but then they don't sell it, so it goes back to the warehouse, which then reships to Europe. This is typical. It's not like contract.
That seems like a fantastic use case for ERC 721.
Pharma is using ERC 721. They're already doing this.
Just on private
networks.
Chains.
Right, permission chains, stuff you can't see yet.
Yeah, everything you just said there. I was like, yeah, blockchain, Ethereum solves all of that.
We got some great mezcal here. So I got this Mexico City, Los Danzantes. Good times. And we're about to kill this.
It's super ironic you guys mentioned the use case for serialization. I'm entering a startup competition at University of Chicago. Our solution is actually very supply chain oriented. It's basically just integrating ERCs for real world assets.
Like what type of stuff?
Everything.
That's not how the world works though.
I know. So we're starting hundreds of billions of dollars of counterfeit fraud in global marketplaces. So it's like, what product can you pick first, that you can enter? And then how can you ensure that all the partners, right, like you said, it goes from one place to another? How can you take the shortest path where you can ensure whatever platform you do use is used by each of them?
You got to do it niche-wise, right? So selling it to pharma, it's about regulation versus clothing, where it's more about the brand. You can go from a commodity clothing to a mid-market clothing brand by including a certificate of authenticity with your clothes.
The thing is for clothing, it's interesting because some companies and some brands want counterfeit goods actually in the marketplace. It's free marketing, right?
Yeah.
I think we're sticking to electronics or 100 to $10,000 range products. Like the tire industry, for example, I think there's like $2 billion of fraud every single year. It's just like there's so many niche categories that you can enter.
I'm signed up for this. Mission: verify seller claims and authenticity for most things you buy.
Yeah. I fully believe that. You said the next generation NFTs is for digital items. I think it's actually real world assets. I think that's when people are going to realize the full scope of the ecosystem.
What's an example of a counterfeit that the original brand actually wants?
You could take like Rolexes, for example, right? It's just free brand awareness. Rolex is backlogged like 3 months for their watches. Like if you want to go to the Rolex store and get a watch, you couldn't right now. Then you have like high-end clothing items, right? Luxury purses and stuff. For the most part, they do want to limit counterfeit goods, but they're for certain counterfeit goods that are not up to standard with their quality. So if they're high-quality counterfeit items where it's almost indistinguishable, then they're losing money. But if you have these like off-brand, super cheap-looking, like no one's going to believe it's the actual item, then they say why not? They're not going to go and try and enforce something.
So when it's obviously fake, then the actual impact on their brand is just to make people think, oh, well, this is a really good brand to aspire to.
Depends. Yeah, it depends.
Oh, snap. We didn't even open this box.
You got to show the box. You got to like shake it and build suspense.
Here's the box. Barnes & Noble. So he warned me. He's like, we had too many orders. We had to start fulfilling using leftover boxes we had laying around. I hope this is not.
Is there any more context to this?
We're
NFT
about
Philly.
NFT Philly.
Okay.
And we're talking about, so there's only 10,000 Bored Apes, and you can use them for commercial exploitation, right?
Yeah.
This is one of the specific apes was commercially exploited to become that brand.
Mm-hmm.
Called Bored Bagels.
What?
So they used Bored Ape, make bagels, and he said, I'm sorry about, oh snap, this is on my keyboard. I'm sorry we didn't have a box big enough for all your bagels, so we gave you a small box and we put the box in the box.
Well, here you go.
We heard you like boxes, so we put a box in the box. Oh my god, and we gotta get Ella for this. Hello.
Bored bagels.
Because we got stickers. We're also gonna show a second thing off. And it comes with
That's so
cheese,
fun.
which we're totally gonna hit. And
Posters?
stickers.
Oh, stickers.
I'm working on this for a while.
Working on this for a while. It's just an empty box
Whoa.
with a piece of paper duct tape to it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good job. Yeah.
This is where we broadcast our pirate signal and hack the Matrix. All right, so everybody, if you have stickers, send them to Will.
Awesome. Is there an address that I send that to? A P.O. box?
PO 1
Numbers?
3.
PO box. Yeah. And I told my dad, I said, go to the post office and get the best number. Yo, dude, what's the story?
The salts are expensive? What are the salts
Oh, I got him.
pricing? It's not your average table salt.
I'm gonna ask.
All right.
I'm assuming you want
Wow.
rainbow.
This is legit.
That's over already?
No, whatever.
Rainbow bagel. Bored Ape cream cheese. Not something I'd ever imagine would be branded.
So what's the story about the PO box? How'd you get this 1, 2, 3?
Oh, he told me to get a good number from the post office. So I went to the post office, and I happened to know the guy who runs the place, and he let me go in the back to pick out what number was available. But I picked a couple numbers like 111, 222, and then I saw 123, but the lock was broken. So he called one of his guys over, just a mailman, and he goes, "Can you fix this?" He goes, "Yep." He goes, "All right, you got 123." So I call Will. I'm like, "Well, how's 123 work for the Sioux Squares mailbox?" He goes, "That'll work." So he hooked us up.
You got the lock fixed?
He fixed it. They even fixed it. Are you still alive?
Yep. We're doing a live.
What?
We're selling bagels, I guess.
Yeah, and now it's a foodie channel.
We don't get commission on bagels.
Oh, thank you. Official.
Who's chattering him? Or is this?
Oh, and Dan was like, oh, Dan comes over and I start feeding him this like whatever I have in my cabinet, and I have this thing from China, like these nuts. And he's like, I just came from China. Like, I want a cheesesteak or like
bagels work.
There we go.
That's one. Not a lot of great bagels in Beijing.
Yeah.
So here's like first reaction.
It looks like Play-Doh. It literally looks like Play-Doh.
This is true. But it's official Bored Ape bagel.
So the nuts, he gave me a couple of them nuts. The
when you had a cracker,
macadamia nuts.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's something that Sue asked me what I wanted for Christmas.
I can send you more from China direct.
Do they make them in China? They have macadamia trees? I thought it was only Hawaii.
They get them from somewhere.
For Hawaii, it's the macadamia factory in Hawaii because I was there.
Maybe they have pirated macadamia cheese.
I mean, I think it's possible.
So the bagels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they're very fresh.
Yeah.
Normally I get.
Can you taste the Bored Ape?
Like there's a lot
I get
colors here.
I get a hint of Bored Ape.
Yeah.
In each bite.
Yeah, I can feel it.
Reminds me of NFTs.
All right, look, guys. I asked ChatGPT where macadamia nuts are, and they grow them in quite a few places. That's the short story.
Oh, we are live. I thought you were kidding.
Don't leave us hanging.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
What are the key characteristics of where they grow?
They do grow them in Hawaii, also California, Brazil, Australia, South Africa, Israel, and New Zealand.
That is a very broad range. If it includes Israel and New Zealand.
Yeah.
Like pretty different climates.
I've only had the ones from Hawaii, from the macadamia factory.
Mauna Loa.
Yeah, that's it.
They're definitely individualized.
Mm-hmm. Each
these
one
are
is
definitely
different.
non-fungible bagels.
Non-fungible bagels.
And
is on there? Where's
he checked out at like 7:01. So what I like about this, you can't see it. The sticker that it shows up in gives shout out to the manufacturer. So this is Bored Apes. Bored Bagels is a brand. You know, obviously they're doing fulfillment through Bagels & Co. And I like how they shout that out. It's not just white label.
Mm-hmm. Are there multiple ape owners involved, or is it just one ape?
I only saw one ape on the board. Can we?
Because with this branding in particular, if it's just Bored Bagels, I don't see any of the Bored Apes IP.
That's right.
Yeah, nothing. Not even the colors or the name or
anything.
Right.
Let
yeah,
me
I don't think. Is it associated with them or not?
And there's a Bored Ape on the box. I guess it's whichever number that one is. But is it just one ape owner who's doing this, or is it like a consortium?
As far as I understand, the website is around this ape.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the ape that is the incantation of the brand.
Mm-hmm.
And they're using that everywhere. Now they have some videos. I mean, this video is hot. Oh, we got some. Yeah, check this out.
Oh.
I mean, is this someone I know? The other owner of one of the other ones at this party. I'm assuming, based on what I'm looking at, is they own this one ape,
right?
That they have rights to use, and that they have some guest appearances
of other apes. One thing I always wonder about is who actually cares about Bored Apes?
Nobody, except for the people getting sued right now.
Apes. The apes care about Bored Apes.
Right, but that's like a very small number of people, high net worth people, and that's like a valuable target audience for some kinds of businesses. If they're making games and a bagel brand, or whoever is doing these types of things, is trying to use the Bored Apes IP to influence a broader audience. Mm-hmm. What is that broader audience?
My theory was because everybody knows that somebody will pay a lot of money to meet Justin Bieber.
Well, I have a question. Do you guys feel the same way about punks? That it's just like status by version of who else owns one?
No, totally not. Because
wait, you think they're different?
Oh yeah.
Okay, tell me.
Well, punks came out earlier, right? And they were free to just have it first. So I feel like people that own punks are more anonymous than people that own the apes.
Okay.
But if someone was to buy a punk now, is the value proposition similar to if somebody was to buy a ape now?
So
I can't imagine that they're not substitutes.
Name 5 celebrity who owns Bored Apes. Name 5 celebrities that own pumps.
I could just Kevin Rose.
But Kevin Rose doesn't
right?
count. He's an NFT celebrity.
Well, no,
He's not
Kevin
like a
Rose is celebrity
mainstream.
before NFTs.
He's from Dig, right?
Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast owns a punk. Gary
Oh.
Vee. Gary Vee owns a punk.
Okay. You're still subculture.
Jay-Z. Jay-Z has a punk.
Mr. Beast
I didn't know that. Okay.
Beyond.
Oh, yeah. He has a
Nick.
really cool one, too.
Okay.
He's the most followed YouTuber.
Okay.
He beat PewDiePie recently.
Okay. I'm getting schooled here. Good.
Yeah, I think the value prop for them is almost indistinguishable.
You're saying all of them are the same.
Yes.
Is this true with like the generative art movement? So like stored on chain
Right.
generative art pieces as well?
So my sense for a lot of those is if it's not something you can show off that nice that makes people think that you're part of some like elite group. I think a lot of the generative art stuff is more collector motivation. I try and think of analogies of like the real world and like physical art. I grew up in Delaware and there's this little town called Chesapeake Bay City. Local people with small boats that would like ride up and down Chesapeake Bay and they would stop there and there's restaurants and like a hotel and a couple art galleries. And there are people that would buy that art. And the artists aren't super famous. The people buying the art like the art. It's recognized within this really, really localized community. That's kind of different from buying a Picasso.
Yep.
Right? Because Picasso, maybe you like Picasso. There is a small following of people who really know about Picasso's different periods and studied it too deeply. But a lot of it is like the ego. You can go to any party and say, I have a Picasso, or have a party and show it off. Makes me look like important and socially respectable aspect, which is kind of different from the pure collector motivation.
So when you say collector, we're talking about aesthetic.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's like they feel good having that relationship with the artists, and it's less about feeling that the value comes from showing it off to other people.
There's totally a difference between buying live artists and dead artists. I mean, that's the thing too.
Ah. Mm-hmm.
I said, yeah, it makes sense because once an artist is gone, then you have guaranteed scarcity. There's not going to be a dilution of the art. The story of the artist and the art is like a bookended thing. So you've got a complete oeuvre with like a complete story.
Oh, that's interesting. So
the value proposition is going to be a lot greater.
Yeah, let me find a quote from people.
But this makes me think about like NFT collections where the collection, the number of NFTs is capped, is essentially, it's like you're a dead artist from the start, right?
As long as that's actually capped. I mean, like, if when you get into artists, right, like their oeuvre matters. So, like, what is their complete body of work? And, like, what story does that tell us? It's going to matter to the status, I would say. Like, we're kind of talking about status here, right?
I mean, if Bored Apes comes out tomorrow and has... These are generated art. Right? They literally can just type in 100,000 and make 100,000 more.
Right.
If Bored Ape is going bankrupt, let's say they get sued tomorrow. That's a good time to release 100,000 NFTs for your legal defense fund, right? So if they do that, how do you feel if you bought one of the first 10,000? They come out with another million. They can just type in a number and that money will spit out and they will get some amount of money. If you're buying one of the first 10,000, I feel the thought that this may or may not happen will have some impression on your valuation of this thing. So it's not just about the collection, it's about the artist, which is different from Mutant Apes or from XYZ Apes, where they could just copy it and change it a little, and it wouldn't be an official ape. It would look the same-ish, but wouldn't be the same thing, and it might not delete the value. Sort of like we're talking about.
Well, you can check the contract
if it's official.
If there's a way to mint more.
You're saying mint more, but I'm saying, like, what if they just came out with Bored Apes 2?
Oh, okay.
And then 1 million.
Right.
And they put it on the Yuga website, and they're like, version 1 was just the pilot.
Just the start.
Version 2 is the inclusive future. And then, it's a money grab.
Right.
Which you never know how that's going to affect value either. Like, it might raise the value for there to be a lot more, because then you're like the Genesis collection, right? And Next collection, if it's widely adopted, would raise the status of the overall IP.
You're right. We don't know. This is a complex model. I was trying to find this quote from People. I'm summarizing People. He's like, I don't care about, the technology or the royalties or how you get paid or whether you get paid or whether it's enforced or not. Make people want to pay you. Treat your collectors well, and they're going to take care of you. They're going to want to pay you royalties. This is even before Looks Rare and X2Y2 blew up and all these people that are not paying royalties.
Mm-hmm. It's good business advice. Make people want to pay you. Don't rely on regulations and monopoly environments in order to have a viable business. We didn't talk about the Reddit avatars.
Let's do it. Here you go. RedditHelp.com. Collectible avatar shop. So here's my avatar.
You've got one? You've got a Reddit collectible avatar?
Doesn't everybody get one? Isn't it free?
Yeah, it's free. Anybody can, and you can design it yourself. I was able to make direct edits to mine.
Is yours on the blockchain?
Nice. It's on some blockchain somewhere. Let's find it. So here's me. I've been on Reddit.
Oh, yours is so cool.
Thank you.
The Singularity? That's not your username.
No, full decent.
Right? So what is the Singularity?
I don't know. Click details. So 010. So it's in binary. Oh, so we're so cool. And this looks like ASCII, so we will all be one. Okay.
That's just kind of creepy.
Benefits. Stand out in comments. Add a card to your profile. I assume that everyone transferable. So if you transfer it, you're no longer this or like. So this is already my avatar. I don't know why.
Wait, make it your avatar.
That button.
What does
I'm
that
scared
mean?
to click on it. Here's my avatar right here. It's like, oh, is that not my avatar?
But maybe it's just not minted on.
I'm gonna click it.
Yet.
This could be disastrous.
See what happens.
Let's click it. I'm already save. Success.
It doesn't seem like. Oh yeah, this is where you can choose.
Wait, I can change it like that?
Yeah.
Why would I do that? Oh my god, do I have to like wake up in the morning? It's like, okay, my nails, my Reddit avatar, make everything match. Join the waitlist. Being a featured creature.
Creator.
Oh.
It's just a random Google
Featured
form. They couldn't make their own form.
All right, so I don't really know what's going on here. It looks like I can modify this somehow.
But where is it on chain? Like, what blockchain are they even using? View your collectible. Is that it takes you to the same place?
Wearing 7.
Oh, these are the things you're wearing.
Oh, I can have a few. Oh. Today, background cards can only be selected on mobile, obviously. This website looks better on Reddit mobile. Please install our app. We heard that this is somewhere on blockchain.
So what's the connection to blockchain? I still don't have any...
So, like, there's help articles about blockchain and then the collectible shop next to each other.
Right.
In the blockchain vault and collectible avatars section.
My sense is they're like very hesitant about talking about blockchain
Specifically.
Yeah.
Which is, I can respect.
Right. I
Like,
get it.
It would be totally cool if there was a pi symbol down here and you clicked it and all the details showed up on like Etherscan.
Right.
And nobody clicks on pi because nobody watched whatever that movie was. The Net. But there should be a pi symbol here where I can see what I'm looking
or
for.
something. Like I was reading the docs about Starbucks.
Yeah.
Their like Polygon journeys thing. And it's like, if you don't want to hear about blockchain, you can just not hear about blockchain and still, go on their customer loyalty program. But if you want to know how it's connected to blockchain, the information's at least available.
I am all for like buried blockchain under something. Yeah. Reddit has done a little bit too much of that.
Yeah. What do I actually own? A bundle of rights.
You get this avatar and you can use it anywhere. These rights are licensed to you by Reddit and licensors, including independent creators. You can just copy modify. Collectible avatars are limited edition avatars. So that means they're going to run out. Or why is my serial number different from my token ID number? Our serial numbers and token IDs are not 1-to-1. Token IDs are 0 indexed and your serial numbers are 1 indexed. Okay, so it's off by 1. Like you couldn't figure that out.
Why? Reddit? Why?
Less than half of the responders found this article helpful. Yeah.
Secure my vault. Only you can access your vault. Reddit can't help you if you lose your... I mean, I'm reading the help
Sounds like a blockchain.
It sounds like warning, don't call us when you forget your password. You're going to lose your stuff. Like, these are the right things I don't see in the product. You must remember your password or you lose it. Reddit cannot help you. In red, it's not uppercase. Recovery phrase, like, they're close.